Welcome, everyone, to the gathering at the Cosmic Fire 2024 Summit, a celebration of the source of our awakening. Whether you were nurtured by earth-based wisdom your entire life, you were blessed to meet a teacher along your path, or you are listening here today on the threshold of something new, each one of us has been gifted an opportunity to awaken more deeply in every moment and to be of sacred service. Together, we are embarking on an amazing adventure. Around the cosmic fire, honored shamanic earth-based healers and teachers from around the globe will share their stories of awakening, each offering beauty and illuminating wisdom and medicine ways that we believe are our most valuable natural resource. This gathering is brought to you by Shamans Directory, an online global platform dedicated to bringing shamanic earth-based services to the world's doorstep. At Shamans Directory, we are committed to honoring the Earth's living lineages, the medicine people and communities who invite our human family to heal and to awaken to a better, more kind, more sustainable way forward. I'm Tricia Bennett, one of your hosts at the Cosmic Fire, and I am honored to welcome Dr. Marie Mbouni. Welcome, Marie. It is wonderful to have you here.
It is absolutely my honor to be here today with you.
Thank you so much. So before we begin, for those of you who do not know Marie yet, I am going to take a moment to let you know a little bit about her. Marie Mbouni, MD, has been called the Shaman's Shaman. A unique blend of roles, Marie is a soul purpose alchemist, medicine woman, conscious coach, trauma-informed sacred ceremonies facilitator, and integration facilitator. This diverse skill set allows her to offer a holistic approach to healing and leadership. Also a healer, mentor, author, and speaker, Dr. Marie Mbouni is the founder and CEO of Heart Leadership and the Source Codes Mystery School. She's a leading expert in guiding visionary entrepreneurs, healers, coaches, therapists, and creatives to step into their greatness, magnetic power, and purpose so they can share their gifts and voices and lead from a place of heart-centered and deep intuition. Marie has boldly opened up the power of the heart and mind and beauty of intuition and all-encompassing power of love and stepped into her destiny as a healer, embracing her potential and stepping beyond the confines of the mainstream. A humanitarian, Marie is passionate about sacred reciprocity and giving back to help the world evolve to a better place. So we are so blessed to have you here today. And the topic for our conversation is Gaia's Call and Cosmic Wisdom, Awakening to Your Soul Purpose in a Time of Cosmic Revolution. So I'm wondering if we could begin, since this summit is about honoring the source of our awakening, if we could begin with you sharing some of the pivotal moments that sparked your awakening journey, and maybe tell us how Gaia's Call influenced this journey.
Thank you. Beautiful question. It's always actually it takes a little to answer this question because my spiritual awakening was not a single event, but a series of pivotal moments and experiences that gradually deepened my understanding of myself, the universe, the cosmos, and my place within it. And one of the things I know for sure is that I have been receiving Gaia's call and also really opening to cosmic wisdom. And the very first thing that, comes to mind was a profound connection with nature. Like one of the earliest and most impactful experiences, of course, with hindsight, right? Because this was like in my childhood, was profound connection with nature that I felt, deep in nature, in the forest. I could feel a sense of deep living presence around me, the trees, the birds, the rocks. I could look at rocks and see like features, or just kind of felt like each radiating a subtle and yet powerful energy. And, I later came to realize that it was Gaia herself speaking to me and reminding me of the ancient sacred relationship between humans and the earth. And it went from these kind of subtle connections to deeply sensorial and energetic experiences. I remember I was in Bali, in a hot springs, and this hot springs was in a retreat center. So there was like this big pool with hot springs, and in front there was like a landscape with like mountain, right? And Mount Agung in Bali. And so I was just kind of meditating in the hot spring water and looking at the mountain when I literally felt like the mountain shift and move like this. And, at first when I noticed that, I was like, is anybody else seeing this? Like, can you guys see? And I realized that people were not seeing this. I was seeing it, and it kind of felt like an embrace, from the earth, right? The other thing that I remember from very, very long ago is a sort of guidance from the stars, meaning every time I was outside, I would look up at the sky and I would notice that the stars were almost saying hello to me, right? Twinkling, and I could feel the light of the stars. And so, as I reflected back when I was invited here at this cosmic fire, that experience opened me up to the idea that my soul's journey was not just about my personal growth, but really about understanding and aligning with larger cosmic forces at play. And of course, during my life, I've come across so many ancient teachings and indigenous wisdom with the knowledge of the stars, visionary experiences that I've had either during meditation, during dream time, or with, my allies, sacred plant medicines. And, another part of the question was Gaia's call, right? And, besides what I've already said in that answer, one thing I can say is that Gaia has always been a grounding force in my awakening, because something that I understood early on and that was emphasized by my teachers is that we are here on Gaia. So it is crucial that we stay rooted in the present moment, that we continue to respect the natural cycles of lives, that we continue to respect Earth or Gaia, right? And, because one of the things that I had noticed in some spiritual people around me is that they were That was my feeling. It's that they were somewhat ungrounded, or they felt like they're just floating or wanting to ascend up somewhere versus being here now, right? And so I've always had Gaia's energy as a constant guide, helping me to heal, to grow, and to remember that my spiritual journey is not separate from the physical journey or the spiritual journey of the world, but deeply intertwined with it, which then signify that at the core, it's important that we live in harmony with the earth to honor the sacredness of all life and earth based wisdom, and to embody these principles in my actions.
That's such a beautiful instruction. I had an elder who used to say, we're stardust and dirt. You know, we are from the heavens, but we are of the earth. We are of Gaia. We are of Pachamama, and that we need to seek guidance from her as much as from the stars, because we are here. We don't live in the heavens. We live here. And so that's beautiful wisdom and advice. And would you be willing to share a little bit about how Gaia and her energy and the stars work together to guide and support the discovery of our soul purpose?
Mm, yeah, beautiful question. So, the teachings and energies of Gaia and the stars, what I have personally observed is that they create a profound synergy, right? This both end guiding and supporting us in either discovering or remembering our soul purpose. And this happens in several interconnected ways. So, for example, the grounding and stability, which has been so important for me. I'm an Aquarius and air sign. So, my mind is like, could just go, right? And so, grounding and stability, Gaia as the earth mother can offer us that stability so that we can anchor into the physical realm. As many of the spiritual people, and when I say spiritual people, I don't mean anybody who aligns to a religion or ideology. What I'm talking about is your own personal cosmology, right? And we all have that, right? And so anchoring into the physical realm is so important, right? And this grounding, this being here, is essential for you to embody your soul purpose. It's important as it provides the foundation from which you can explore and manifest your higher calling. Another thing that I can share here is cosmic alignment, right? I love the word alignment, and I love that we are at the cosmic fire. And the stars have a lot of ancient wisdom, celestial energies, and they can help us open up to the cosmic blueprint of your soul's journey, right? By aligning to different star system, you can access higher frequency. And by higher, it's not like hierarchy, it's depth and width, right? Higher frequencies and guidance that illuminate your path, giving you like breadcrumbs so that you can reveal deeper parts, deeper layers of your soul mission. And the other thing is that interconnected wisdom, right? Interconnectedness. Gaia and the stars, in my view, work in harmony, teaching you the importance of being connected both to the earth and the cosmos. I call that roots and wings, right? And this balance allows you to draw upon the nurturing energies of Pachamama while also expanding your consciousness to receive insights from the stars, creating a sort of a holistic approach to discovering your soul purpose or embodying it, right? Um, Another thing that comes to mind is activations and transformations. The stars, sometimes act as catalysts for awakening and transformation, while Gaia supports the integration and anchoring and embodiment of these changes. And so, as you receive uh, these, you could call them downloads, activations, insights from the stars or celestial bodies, Gaia can help you ground these energies, ensuring that your transformation is not only spiritual but also embodied in daily life, and also ensuring that, and this can happen for certain people. You don't get like ascension syndrome where you could be like completely fatigued or tired or isolated or lost, right, as you go through your awakening.
Yeah. You mentioned the word download, and I wonder if you could say a little bit about how people might listen for that.
Everybody listens in different ways, and you have to find your way of listening. Listening to me is about the willingness to open up to curiosity, to imagination, to stillness or movement, right? Most people say sit in meditation. However, I know for sure that everybody is not receptive to the benefits of stillness, meaning the classic monastic type of meditation that people think about, right? Where you sit with your eyes closed, legs in
The
uh,
yoga position, right? Right.
everybody, like I can't even cross my legs for a long time, right? Like my knees start to hurt. So that's actually not how I sit when I want to meditate. So number one, willingness to listen, to open up, right? Curiosity, alignment to your way of, what I call primary sensing mechanisms, meaning the way you sense and perceive information, right? For example, sometimes my meditation is just about moving, silent, what I call fundamental movement, where I just allow my body to move the way it wants to move. And during that movement, I start to receive something. So the second thing is releasing expectations of, you know, whatever. Like, oh, this is how it's going to show up. This is how I'm going to receive my guidance. Oh, everybody else sees angels, or whatever preconceived notions you have. You need to let them go and embrace the concept of Shoshin, Japanese concept, which is beginner's mind, and attach that to curiosity. I wonder, right? Because then you can really open up without any fixed preconceived ideas of a destination, and instead staying in the journey of listening. That's what I call that. For some people, it's writing, just writing. And it's like, wow, I've never had this thought before. Where is it coming from? Art or stillness, going outside and just looking at the stars, or sitting on the ground, leaning on a tree. I wonder what this tree has for me. I wonder. I don't know. And then we get to be surprised, right? So, yeah, that's how you listen. You listen in ways that you were meant to listen. Like some people are very visual, they might see things, right? Oh, I saw a bird fly and it was yellow, and yellow to me means whatever. Maybe you have a knowing. You don't know how you know, but you just know. Maybe you hear something. Maybe you feel something, an emotion, right? So, yeah, that's how I would answer that question.
That was a beautiful answer, and um, so open-ended, so open for people to choose and feel and move, to either be in stillness or to listen in whatever way speaks to them, whatever way they feel listening happens for them. And you said something about your connection to nature as a child, and how the trees and the birds and the stones participated in your awakening. And I feel that, nature is also a beautiful place to listen to, and to allow nature to assist in that listening process. And you also said something several times, you said something about wondering. I wonder. And I was talking to a young person recently, and he said to me, "Whatever happened to wondering?" He said, everybody goes to search engines for their answers. If you want to know something, you just Google it. And he said, "Whatever happened to wondering?" And I thought that was such a beautiful insight for a young person to have. Why not wonder about it instead of immediately seeking something? So that your share reminded me of that beautiful thought about wondering. So you have mentioned what you call the cosmic revolution. And I would love for you to share something about that, and how you feel about our collective awakening in terms of playing a part in shaping our future.
Mm.
Just a tiny little question.
um, I want to first say a little bit of something about what you said about wondering, where you said, young people go to search engines. I want to share that it's not just young people, it's everybody. It's everybody. Um, we have lost our ability to be present. Our attention, our consciousness has been hijacked, and we have slowly been programmed for instant gratification, right? Doesn't matter if you're 70, if you're living in 2024, you're influenced by this, right? And so I just wanted to say it's not the young people only, it's all of us, where we have lost our ability to inquire, to intuit, to deduce. Yeah, so really sending a call to all of us to reclaim our presence. Yeah, and it's so pervasive, right? We don't even realize. For example, for those who go on social media, I don't really go very much, but like Instagram, you can only post a sound bite or 60-second video, and that is the attention span. TikTok is 15 seconds. After 15 seconds, it's like our minds wander with an A, right? Wander. And so, one of the things that is important, I'm now segging into answering your question, is that, these are one of the things that really, call us for this cosmic revolution, right? And revolution is not about fight. This is not, oh, let's take our arms and go to battle. This is about the state of affair, the state of being. What is your state of being, right? And we can navigate this, current cosmic revolution with the help of both Gaia and the stars, right? Because in order to do any of this, we need deep connection first with ourselves. That's why I started to answer this question by saying we have lost, how consciousness has been hijacked, our presence, is being distracted, and we don't realize it. And I'm not blaming anyone, I'm calling us into self awareness, into the awareness of our state of being. And so when we are connected to ourselves, we can also then develop a deep connection with both Gaia and the stars so that we may receive their complementary wisdom and energies to help us align. Because, one of the things I know for sure is that if you are here in this conference, you are being called. And a lot of us are being called. And I also firmly believe that our purpose, our true purpose, beyond the personal soul purpose, is to contribute meaningfully to the collective evolution of this planet, of humanity, right? And, we can do that by, um, grounding in Gaia's energy. And I've talked about this. So, regularly connected with the earth through practices that are very easy, right? You don't need to go somewhere in the wilderness, just walking barefoot on the ground, right? And, spending time in nature. You don't go to the wilderness if you can't, if you live in a deep city, right? Just getting outside your balcony and looking at the sky is a form of spending time in nature, because then we don't have the excuse of, oh, there's no park, I live far, I'm close to the freeway, right? Get outside, look up at the moon, look down at the grass. Maybe there's a tree in your parking lot, right? So really getting intentional with, grounding in Gaia's energies. Attuning to celestial guidance is something that, sometimes might feel difficult or challenging. Like, how do I do that? Simple things, right? Like I talked about, just gazing at the stars, for example, right? Or picking a star. Pick a star system that, you might discover that you are attracted to. And, just sit in meditation like, I'm willing to receive the wisdom from whatever star, and then notice what happens, what you feel, sense, right? The um, the other thing, I want to bring two concepts here: the concept of balance and the concept of harmony. Because whenever, the key to navigating revolutions is, balance and harmony. So, balancing earth and cosmic energies. And and I said this in so many different ways, right? When you have this, not only connecting to earth based wisdom, especially if you're earth based shaman or earth based healer, whatever you call yourself, there might be a tendency to only, honor the earth. And, the invitation here is to honor both, the sky and the earth, right? And, one way you can do this quickly is, sitting in meditation or reflection or contemplation under the night sky while seated on the ground and using crystals, right, that connect both, earth and cosmic energies, for example, right? And the second concept is harmony, living in harmony with natural rhythms. One of the things that I feel like we have lost in these times of cosmic revolution is the ability to connect to natural rhythms or natural cycles, right? Because there is a what's the word I want to use? We are driven by, whatever is happening in our lives, our jobs, we go to work, we eat on our desks, or for those who are, you know, who have the opportunity to work in their homes, still have the same thing, right? It could be the dead of winter and we're trying to start a mega project, or, we just keep going. Gaia teaches us to live in harmony with natural cycles, the seasons, the phases of the moon, the rhythms of the earth. And when we align our lives with these cycles, what happens is that we become, we can stay in tune with the natural flow of energy, making it easier to navigate the shift brought about by the cosmic revolution, right? In this way, we start to align and move in flow with the changes rather than resisting them. And, as we align ourselves with both the the stars or the cosmic energies, we naturally step into our role as co-creators of the new world, right? And this is how we can, bring, our contribution to collective transformation. And, the way to do this, like, I gave you a few examples, right? Another way that we can contribute to the collective awakening might be sharing our unique gifts, right? Leading by example, holding space for others, whatever it is for you, right? That is easy to do. And lastly, one last thing I wanted to say is embracing change with grace, because, in times of awakening, as anyone might know, they're not always, peaceful, right? Because we are being called. And so it could be a time of great change. And Gaia's wisdom teaches us to embrace transformation with grace, such as she does herself every changing season.
Well, again, so much was said, and it just goes back. I just keep thinking the thought that's just permeating right now is that we're so in our minds most of the time. It really is so important for us to spend time in nature and spend time wondering and spend time in whatever way we can to open up that center of intuition within us, which is, for me, the place that receives that wisdom from Gaia and from the stars, is that heart belly connection where I know and I don't have to go to a search engine for an answer. Yeah. So thank you for that. Was beautiful.
Mm-hmm.
And I wonder if you could say, you know, why is it so important, so crucial to integrate this wisdom into our lives? And why is it important for future generations that we do this?
Okay. So I wanna I wanna take a moment here to say that we do live in 2024 and we love our search engines, and they are helpful and they have a place, right? So this is not about, um, you know, rejecting search engines or what you need to do your job or what you need to have immediate answers if that is the case. What I'm saying is, even if you are doing that, also allocating time and energy for that part of you that is eternal, right? Your energy, your spirit, your soul, your prana, your chi, whatever term you use, right? So again, both and harmony, connectedness, right? So I just wanted to also clarify that you know I love having search engines, especially you know sometimes I'm like, I'm so happy to live in these times, especially when I'm going on a trip or when I'm driving somewhere. Sometimes I wonder how did people travel to far places without GPS? Right? Like,
Right.
I do wonder, like, oh my goodness, you would have to have somebody there navigating with a map and connecting dots and, right? So we do love our search engines. How long is it going to take me to get there? What is the next guy's station or whatever, right? Because, you know, they have their role. And at the same time, I call this self nurturance, self care of your energetics, your intuition, your consciousness, your soul, and your body, right? So, going back to the question that you asked, preserving and integrating ancient wisdom um, is really crucial for future generations, right? Because that wisdom holds the key to so many things, especially living in harmony with the earth and the cosmos. I think about, like, I'm from Africa, Cameroon, and there was a lot of, it was all oral tradition, right? Oral tradition, griot tradition, songs, traditions, storytelling, traditions, and and what can happen is that if there is no one to receive those words, those songs, those stories, we might lose that wisdom, for the generations to come. And so it's really important that we find ways um, that can help us carry forward those indigenous wisdom in different places on Gaia, on the earth, right? Um, and I still don't really have an answer to this because, you know, traditions are so different, in different places in the world. And sometimes, when our elders have been used to a certain way of transmitting the teachings or the wisdom of the tribe or the region or the country, it could be challenging to bring to the table, you know, different ways to carry it forward, right? So, this is a question that sometimes I have in my mind, an inquiry that I invite all of us to have because, so many people are gifted in so many different things. Like, what are ways that we can do this? Um, you know, Practices that can help is, for example, striving to maintain ecological balance, right? And, indigenous cultures understood this a long time ago, like, the importance of living in balance with the natural world, right? The importance of respecting the earth, recognizing that life is, interconnected, right? And navigating cosmic cycles. Um, you know, it's really when we start to receive or remember or go back in history in the different transmissions, teachings, books, we realize that the stars have guided humanity for millennia, right? When you look at the names of the stars, they're not in English. Most star names are Arabic, right? Because they first really had a lot of knowledge about the stars, right? So, uh, like the real like names you're going to see, Al Nilam, Al Nitak, Mintaka, names like that. They're not English. Or if they are English, maybe they were translated. So the stars have been there, and humanity has known that they are here helping us. And so I feel that, um, reclaiming this knowledge can enable us to navigate the challenges and opportunities presented by these cosmic bodies and these cosmic cycles, because without this understanding, we also risk losing our connection to the broader cosmic context of our existence. Um, Cultural continuity and identity, right? Many cultures, like I was saying, around the world have spiritual connection closely tied to the earth and the stars. And these traditions are not only a source of guidance, but a core part of cultural identity, and preserving that can really help ensure that their unique practices and perspectives are not lost with time, right? Um, what else? Creating a sustainable future, for these ancient teachings can help us create or offer or imagine blueprints for living sustainably and harmoniously with the environment. With, I don't want to go into all the ecological things, crises that are happening in the world, right? So I feel like supporting indigenous communities and custodians of ancient earth wisdom is a way that maybe we can preserve traditions or languages or ways of living that maybe could be lost. So this could be a great way to contribute to the preservation of Gaia's wisdom. And this support could be in any way that is amenable to you, maybe through advocacy, what you're doing here at Shamans Directory, for example, donations, or maybe simply by respecting and honoring their knowledge, right? Yeah.
Yeah, that's beautiful. I recently wrote an article about honoring our elders, and that's another thing that we have lost in many communities is taking time to sit with elders and really listening to their wisdom and listening to what they have to say about what we're going through right now on the planet, because they have a lot to say. So, I wanted to ask you, in your life, you mentioned early on in this conversation that even when you were a child, you had a sense that you had a larger purpose. And it wasn't just a personal soul purpose, it wasn't just for your community, it was a larger soul purpose. And I'm wondering if you could share a little bit about how what's happening now speaks to your soul purpose and how you are navigating this time with
Mm,
the transformative energies that are moving and shifting everywhere right now.
mhm. Thank you. Um, yeah, first of all, I want to start by saying that the understanding of my soul purpose was not when I was a child. It's the cumulative experiences, awarenesses that, brought me to the understanding you're talking about. And, it's a journey that continues, right? And so I just want to clarify that as well, because some people might just say, oh my goodness, as a child she already knew like her bigger purpose, or so I mean, I felt something as a child, and but I could not articulate it or enunciate it, or really have the deeper understanding or even accept completely and fully, right? Because, it's not just about understanding and the awareness, it's about, I want to say, acceptance, commitment, action, embodiment. Because as we go through life, the current shifts that you are talking about have continued to profoundly deepen my understanding of my deeper soul purpose, and revealing layers of meaning and directions that were even previously hidden or not understood. um, this period now of intense energetic shifts, like you said, um, I feel like it has heightened awareness. It is acting as a catalyst for both personal and collective awakening, right? And so I feel like what is coming to play is greater clarity and focus, right? Um, yeah, the cosmic energies, like the shifts. When I take a moment, I realize that these energies have really sharpened my greater focus and clarity on what truly matters in my life. Like stripping away layer by layer, distractions, especially societal conditioning. This was a big one when, I was starting to answer the call to my soul purpose beyond the constraints of the mainstream. What I had said was, I'm creating a new matrix, right? Beyond what society said I should be, or I could do, or I would have, right? So I feel like this allows us to connect more deeply with our core values. Like, what matters to you? What do you stand for? And it doesn't have to be something big like saving all the trees of the Amazon. It could be whatever you want it to be. You have the choice, right? And so I feel like this, is illuminating aspects of everybody's soul purpose that are aligned to serving the greater good, right? Emphasizing the importance of contributing to collective awakening. And the other thing that I feel like is happening or has happened is expanded awareness, right? Um, it's like people are asking questions, like expanding awareness beyond just the physical realm, right? And this, I've felt this for years now. This is really like an encouragement to explore, my connection with the cosmos and understand my purpose in a broader, more universal context. And it's the call that all of us are being called to. You know, really, the invitation I have is for everyone to start to, lean into the recognition that our soul purpose is not just about our personal fulfillment, right? It's also intricately linked to the evolution of humanity and the planet, and, where we can all go together, because we're not living in isolation. Even if we think we are, or even if we want to, we are a part of a greater whole. And I also feel like, what has happened is awakening of intuitive and creative gifts. It's like these heightened transformational energies have activated latent, um, intuitive gifts for people, or creative gifts, which are essential tools for navigating our soul purpose, right? And um, you might not necessarily know exactly what this means and exactly how it shows up, in your life, until you start to listen, until you become curious, right? Because these activations not only enhance the ability to receive, sense, perceive, interpret guidance for higher realms, but also they can empower us to express our purpose through creative endeavors, right? Whatever forms of communications that we have. And in this way, it becomes a little easier to navigate these transformative energies, because they can be overwhelming at times, right? And so, in order to navigate these transformative energies, I feel like it's really important to go back to grounding practices, mindful adaptation, right? So, flexibility, adaptability, imagination, creativity, staying open, going with the flow instead of uh, fixed mindset where you want things to be exactly the way they've been, the last, I don't know, tens of years, or you want things to be exactly, you're not open to discoveries, right? That's a fixed mindset. What we want at this time is a growth mindset where we can allow ourselves to flow with the energies rather than resist them, right? This is how the purpose, the process can be a little smoother and more aligned to this greater purpose. Because, first of all, just hearing these words right now is already opening you up to the possibility of this, greater soul purpose. And the last thing I want to say is that we also want to call in what I call spiritual discernment, right? Because, when you have such an influx of energies, of information, discernment becomes crucial. And and the thing about discernment is that I feel like, we need to filter out um, the noise, right? And to me, the noise is anything that does not deeply resonate with me. If I feel uncomfortable, if I feel conflicted, if I'm not sure, if I'm, in doubt, if I feel disempowered, that's not in alignment with the greater uh, soul purpose. So always remember that, in this state of being, you are in your agency, you are in your authorship, you are sovereign, right? And it's not about suffering.
Well, I cannot think of a more perfect punctuation mark for the end of this conversation. That was beautiful. Is there anything else that you would like our summit audience to know today? I can't imagine a more beautiful closure, but is there anything else that you feel people need to know right now?
I've said so much. Yeah, one thing that I can say is that always come back home to yourself, because your soul knows, and you are guided and loved.
Well, thank you so much again for your beautiful, deep, heartfelt wisdom that you have shared with all of us. And you have offered two gifts for our summit audience. One is a quiz that aligns with the cosmic fire. It is entitled a Galactic Alignment Quiz. And the other is this beautiful video that you did earlier this year on YouTube called Cord Cutting. It's a ritual for creative abundance, but I have watched it and I think as a cord cutting ritual, it's really wonderful for any sort of cords that you're interested in cutting. So, do you want to share a little bit about those gifts?
So, it just felt befitting to have, you know, gifts that align with the cosmos and the earth, right? So that, we can have both practices, or we could choose. Um, in cord cutting, one of the things that I want to remind everybody is that we are sovereign, and it's not about fear. However, there are things that happen, our families, our colleagues, our spouses and lovers, and we interact with each other, and sometimes the energies um, can undergo some shifts, or we can uh, ourselves attach to others' energies, or others can. And, there are good and non beneficial cords, right? So, I talk about all that in the video, and then you're going to go through the ritual. And I made it really easy so that you can do it on your own. So, first, watch the video. Hopefully, you subscribe to my YouTube channel, uh, and then go for it. The galactic alignment, during our conversation today, I was talking about, choose a star and see if you can get guidance. And, our souls are aligned with certain types of stars. And in this quiz, it's about your soul purpose and maybe which star system is empowering you, like considering it as an ally, right? Yeah, really excited about those gifts.
I'm really excited about those gifts too. I was also thinking in terms of the cord cutting when you were talking about eliminating the noise in life, that there are cords that can create noise. And so a nice place to start might be to think about the places in your life that are drawing you away from your soul purpose, and think about making a list of those before you watch that video.
Yes, agreed. Yeah.
So again, I want to thank you. And Marie always has a million things going on. And so if you scroll below this video, you will see links to these gifts, as well as links to her website and her social media, where you can follow her and see everything that she has going on. You have been an inspiration to us from afar for years with all of your work with the Shift Network and with the gathering of the shamans and Plant Medicine Network and all sorts of wonderful places that we have seen your work. And we hope that everyone will connect with Marie, reach out and find out what she's doing. It's a true honor to finally meet you. And thank you again so much.
Thank you.
And to everyone who is viewing and participating, we thank you for taking time out of your day to be here with us, to receive the wisdom and inspiration that Marie has shared with us today. And we hope that you will join us for our next interviews around the cosmic fire.